Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today, Joe? How's it going?
Good. Remember to wash your hands, and yeah. I don't know why I put that in the chat, but yeah.
Let's give a warm
More.
Dudes at Ringside welcome to Reese Ramone.
The show pony.
Hi.
How's it going?
See, he almost forgot your nickname. You have to give him the shame. What kind
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but that's okay,
Yeah,
I guess.
I know. So, if our fans are not familiar with it, Reese, introduce yourself.
First of all, they should be. Second of all, if you're not, I am the show pony Reese Ramone, and I am based out of Ironton, Ohio, a town of the tri-state between Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. And I wrestle, I'd say my home promotion, well, not I'd say, no, it is. The home promotion is FTC Wrestling. And I train at FTC's Art of Grappling, which is also in Ironton, Ohio.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Reese, who trained you?
Bobby Blaze, Double B Bobby Blaze.
Oh, wow.
He's the best. He has his own podcast called Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze. He's phenomenal. 2 books out. Pin Me, Pay Me, and I've kicked out at 2, or I kicked out on 2. That's what it's called. I have both of them. They're great. Trained by the Malenkos.
Wow.
He's just the best. Like, he's been all over the world. Smoky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight champion, Mr. Jim Cornette. And Japan, South Africa, where you think of it, like, if you've ever listened to his podcast and the stories and the names, it's just phenomenal. And I'm really blessed to actually, have real training by someone who's been there. He's worked in WCW and also with the WWF, but his primary work, like WCW and stuff. He's literally just the best. He's super supportive. Goes over ring psychology so well. Just that promos everything, character development, super helpful in that. He's great, the best.
Like, being Mr. Old School myself, like Dean Malenko as a kid, like kid of the 90s, watching Dean Malenko just spawn the ring against like Benoit and people
Rey
like
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio with that cruiserweight title. When I was a kid, I'm thinking cruiserweight title to me was like Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, La Parka. But I love submission wrestling, and Dean Malenko, I'm like, oh, I love Ray, but come on, Dean Malenko, the Iceman, the man of 1,000 holds. Come on, it's Dean. Like,
Very underrated in WWE, by the way.
Yeah,
very
very.
underrated. Actually, like, we do a lot of the exercises and stuff that he was taught there, and that's really invaluable. Getting that ring cardio is awesome, and it's really cool learning that stuff, having that knowledge passed down. I tried to focus a lot going into training, like what do I want to work on that day? I always, especially in the competitive, very, very, very competitive world of professional wrestling, you have to stand out. And there's, as you know, there's so many characters, so many different types of people. Like, how can you make yourself stand out? So always try and come in with like a different type of chain move or something like that you don't see anymore. A lot of submissions and stuff are lost in the day and age, and holds and stuff like that in the day and age of spots, like high spots and all that. It's great and all, it's just like sometimes you want to see something different. And yeah, so I watch a lot of old school. I watch Dean Malenko. My trainer Bobby's also he shared the ring with Eddie Guerrero and stuff. And so just like I like to keep it old school because I know that's what he can, he's that's like how he works and stuff. And how he worked, how he learned, and how he worked, how he learned. It's different. You don't you want to resurrect stuff that you don't see anymore to stand out. And like it's cool. And I hate to be like old school, new school, because there's so many different ways to do so many different things in wrestling. It's just don't hurt yourself, don't die.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's good to hear, as being a person from the 90s, in the 80s, like 80s, 90s, baby, to hear that you're younger than me and Geek, and you're going to the old school wrestling to watch it, to learn what they do. A lot of the young wrestlers just talk about, right, Geek? They just talk about the new stuff, and not a lot of our past guests really don't talk about the where it all started, like the old schools, like the Deans and the Benoits and the Chris and the Eddies. They talk about John Cena,
The
Edge, and
edges.
people like that. Like, it's good to hear from me, being Mr. Old School of the podcast. You get a tip of the hat and you did it. You did it, girl, because
Thanks.
it's good to know that the old school actually is affecting the young culture of wrestling, the young wrestlers. So it's good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say anything negative at all about people who do high spots, wrestlers that do high spots, because I think they're absolutely phenomenal. Like, I myself want to get to the point where I can pull off like awesome flips and stuff from the top rope. Like, that's what I want to eventually get up to doing. I just gotta try it. but,
Yeah.
but I think there's something to be said for getting a crowd involved into this story, like putting butts in seats with your story. And that's what I like about, I guess, what you call old school. um was like putting butts in seats with these storylines of like um just working, talking to the audience, selling all that good stuff. And I think John Cena and Edge are great. I mean, they can tell a story just really well. And you gotta look at who they were inspired by too. And it's just, it all trickles down. I think you can learn something from everybody. And Bobby always tells us, he's like, the moment you stop learning in this business is the moment you become the bull in the ring, and nobody wants to be the bull in the ring. So that's really important to me, to keep learning. So I do go back to, I guess, what you call old school, because there's a lot of stuff not used there anymore that it shouldn't die. And I like to watch a lot of British wrestling, like Robbie Brookside, Johnny Saint, because
Definitely.
I think it's so cool how like a body slam, like just a body slam, can mean so much. And it's all about the moves and how you do them, like where you put them, like because a lot of their stuff, they're like chaining around, they're like putting each other in these holds, and they shoot them off in that big body slam, and you hear like this just enormous reaction because like Fit Finley just went down, coming back up, as a heel at World of Sport and stuff, and it's just that's what I like is I like the grasp of that, and I don't think John Cena and Edge are too far off from getting those big like crowd reactions and stuff. I think you know I think that's one of the most important parts of wrestling that maybe not everybody sees as getting the crowd into it and stuff, and like making sure you go out there and have fun. I mean, it's professional wrestling. They don't hurt anybody. Just, people don't go to professional wrestling to watch themselves. Why would you give them something boring, like not boring, but just kind of like nonchalant,
Yeah.
So that's what I like about like the old school stuff.
Yeah. That's like, as I said again, that I find that so cool that you're like a young wrestler in this business and you're using the old school wrestling as a jumping off point to know what do I make myself to be like. I like that. As I said, in Right Geek, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that, Geek? You always have your side of the story.
I know. I was just gonna ask her what was the biggest advice that Dean Malenko gave you.
No, I never met Dean Malenko.
Oh, you never met him?
Him, Bobby.
Huh?
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah.
I'd have to ask him. Probably so much.
Mm-hmm.
Dean, Boris, all them. I'd have to ask. I've read his. Reading his books as we speak. I get through them, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, he just gives us what he was taught, so he doesn't want to teach us the wrong way at all. So I think that yeah, there's probably a lot, so I can't answer that question. I'm sorry, but obviously it's got to be some good stuff.
So in your young career, how many matches have you had so far?
I think 4, 5, 4. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So far, have you started any rivalries with any wrestlers?
I guess you could call it that. I'm just kidding. Yes, I have. I guess technically, like, balling out with Sarah Bubbles right now. We had our first encounter at FTC's Fight Night, which was a student show. She made her debut and made my singles match into a tag match, which is absolutely ridiculous. I still won, though. Good part. But just ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't be interfering,
Yeah.
Insane. And then I recently beat her at FTC's My Way's huge show in Catlettsburg. I think maybe hopefully by now she's learning to leave me alone and not try and bully me out of like 2 battle royals by now. Ridiculous. So.
We have a fellow wrestler in the crowd when you're done.
Let continue, Joe. Let continue.
Sorry about that, Macy. I didn't mean that.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. She should know to leave me alone by now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have a question from the audience, a fellow wrestler.
What's your dream match? Also miss you. Hope you're doing good.
Hi, No Heart.
No Heart's the bomb.
No Heart.
No, you're cool.
She's awesome.
What's my dream match? Gosh. As I like go back and start watching stuff outside of WWE, I have so many people that I want to like learn from and stuff. But I think my dream match would be against Alexa Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss. She's great. I just think she's awesome. I love Twisted Bliss. I love her character work is so strong. Yeah, I think every character that the WWE has ever presented her with, everything she's ever done has been extremely solid on the main roster. I liked when she turned heel with Blake and Murphy. That was cool. Came up to the main roster. I mean, it's just great. I love watching her promos to get inspiration and stuff like that. Like they're really good. Like I don't even know what to I can't. It sounds so simple, but I don't even know what to say. Like they're just really, really good. She's so good at what she does, and she's really athletic and just be fun. Or Trish Stratus, I really like Trish Stratus. She's one of my favorites too.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's a shame they never did anything with Blake and Murphy on the main roster. They would have been a great tag team.
They were a great NXT champion tag team. I was just like, why'd you break them?
I mean, after they broke them up, Blake wasn't doing much. Murphy was doing a little bit more. But, together, they were freaking awesome. They were a great tag team.
How many times did they win the NXT tag titles? I know they won them a lot.
Did they win 2? I think they won 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
That's what NXT,
great. What are your feelings on NXT 2K 2.0? What do you think about that?
2.0. I have never deep dive invested myself in NXT. I liked when with Black and Gold. I don't know, just NXT. I thought it was cool. The four horsewomen and stuff. That was probably some of my favorite stuff. I liked Vaudevillains were fun. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is one of my favorite wrestlers. That was just fun. NXT 2.0. I just don't have that much negative to say about it because it's I haven't really deeply invested myself into it. I like Mandy Rose's role. I like the Toxic Attraction. I think they're really good. But I'm I just NXT 2.0. I'm just I'd have to research into it more because I just one day saw it was NXT 2.0 and everything was all bright and neon and I was like, okay.
I kind
of cool.
Really told me that and I thought he was joking. I was like, yeah, right. And then I saw it. I was like, are we back in the 90s or 80s again? What's with the neon colors?
Is it a game show? Is it a game show? What's going on here?
Nickelodeon? Right? I thought when I first saw that, Reese, I thought they got bought out by Nickelodeon. I was like, what? Nickelodeon bought WWE? What?
Oh, they do have a partnership.
Do they?
Universal.
Oh, Universal, but does Universal own Nickelodeon still?
Yeah. Honestly, now when I go and watch wrestling matches and stuff, while I'm training, it's as a trainee, as a wrestler, stuff like that. I go in looking at for inspiration now more than anything. It's almost hard to look at it as a fan now,
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there, I look for inspiration more than anything. I almost don't even notice the background and stuff like that. I go in there and I like to look at character work because NXT, whatever your opinion is of it, that's still part of the top wrestling brand in the world.
Definitely.
Those people in the ring got to be doing something right, to be there. They got to be doing something good, different, and right. So I take watching pay-per-views and all that stuff to learn, to kind of see like what I like, what I think would work for me, like just stuff like that more than I notice anything else now. I don't know. that's
Yeah.
that's just what I like to do with it. And I even like also like even on like Instagram when like people post like little snippets of matches, they're like that long and it's like a spot. I really appreciate that because I can like watch it over and over again. I don't have to thumb through the match. And so like I like randomly rolling across that stuff. Like I roll across a clip of Eddie Guerrero today and it had some cool like chain work stuff in it. So I was like, it's just I think stuff like that's cool. Like honestly, like I was never that deeply invested in the NXT to even give you a good opinion between that black and gold brand and NXT 2.0 colors and all that stuff and what's really different about it. But I mean, I really do. The thing I enjoy most about NXT 2.0 is Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. So
They're a good stable. They go up there. They're getting up there to. Originally, I remember first saw. I was like, oh, what are they doing to Mandy Rose? Now I'm like, oh wow, they really changed her. Hopefully, they don't f her up when they bring her back up on the main roster and ruin her because it made her this creepy, mean, sourpuss girl, and she really was already. Her character was perfect. She was already a heel when she was kind of face. She was tweening it when she left the
With
Raw.
Otis, the thing with Otis, she was a face.
That's what I'm saying. You could never tell if she was really mean. She was trying to be mean to Otis, or she really loved him. And then they brought her to NXT, and they really brought the heel out of her. They brought the thorns out of her. So,
we got one question, Joe. We got a question from the audience. How did you come up with your name?
How I come up with the name Reese Ramone? So guess what? I didn't. My trainers did. I at one point in time I was also trained by Jillian Hall, and she came up with the name Reese. And I no longer train with Jillian, but I do have all the respect for her in the world for everything that she did give me training wise, because there's a lot of invaluable stuff from that. So I appreciate her and giving me that name and stuff like that. And we were just, and then I don't know, it was just kind of like a thing in training. We're all just kind of just hanging around. Bobby comes in one day and he's like, what about for a last name Ramone? Like the Ramones, I was listening to the Ramones. I was like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good to me. Reese Ramone. It's different. Like how many, like honestly, like indies, whatever, people that are signed, like there's like nobody with, barely anybody with our names. Or have you ever heard of anybody with the name Reese? Like even if I didn't have the last name, honestly, like I haven't heard of anybody with the name Reese.
Not really.
Ramone, like, put it up to who you want. Some people might think it's old school or cheesy, but it's still different, and it adds to the whole Reese Ramone character of like punk rock and just different. I just stuff like that. So that's how I came up with the name. I didn't do it. My trainers did.
It's all plagiarism, isn't it?
Oh, jeez.
No, it's not plagiarism because no one else had it. And it was for me to begin with, so no.
So what would you consider yourself in your wrestling style? Would you what kind of wrestling style would you consider yourself?
I don't know. I don't think I've been wrestling that long enough to really know. But I will try to answer the question as best I can.
Okay.
I like to do a lot of stuff that shows off my flexibility, and because not many people have that. It's something I have. It's something I want to show off. So I like to do stuff with splits, stuff with kicks, stuff like that. I just want to show off with the moniker the show pony. I really just like to do stuff in the ring that just goes above and beyond, and it's kind of flashy, and you know, it just it gets the character over to the crowd, just kind of flashy, like something different to see is, you know, I'm sure everybody that's training in wrestling is trying to find some way to set themselves apart, So,
Yeah.
um, I don't really know if I have a style or not, but I really like to do stuff that's just flashy, looks clean, doesn't hurt anybody. Like, well, not you mean not like permanently injure them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean by that.
Yeah, I get you.
Permanently injure, kill someone. I like to do stuff that they know how to protect. Like they just know how to protect themselves. Of course, that's something you discuss with your opponent, or should. Um, and just yeah, just stuff like that. That's just different. Different, fun. Like it won't. I don't. Shorten my career. I guess.
Yeah.
Something that's like scary, even though like I really do want to get to the point of doing stuff off the top rope, because I think that stuff's so cool. I just want to save it, make it special, though. I don't know, it'd be so fun. But I just look for fun chain moves all the time to do, like spin kicks. My finisher is kind of like a variated version of Booker T's scissor kick.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I just stuff like that, stuff that I know I can do. It's like not going to be that hard to translate to someone I'm wrestling or stuff like that, and it's just cool. It looks good. Yeah.
So, who would you say your toughest opponent is?
I'm undefeated, so there's
So
nobody.
your toughest opponent is yourself, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, um I've had 2 run-ins with Sarah Bubbles, so I guess, you could say she's my toughest opponent, and, she does give me a run for my money. Powerhouse, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
you're
that's my toughest
oh
opponent.
sorry. So you're in college. What do you major in?
Electrical and computer engineering, and I have a minor in history.
Oh,
That's
Hard.
awesome.
that's cool. I love history on Dudes at Ringside, so that's always good to be part of history.
It's awesome to be a student and also to be a wrestler at the same time. Just look at Britt Baker. She's a dentist and she's a wrestler at the same time. How do you even manage to do that? It's beyond me.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's really hard. One person in wrestling I saw that did it was actually Eve Torres. She has an engineering degree from, I think, University of Southern California. And she was in a sorority. I'm in a sorority. I'm in Delta Zeta. Yeah. DC, woo. I am also on the majorette line here. I go to Marshall University, so I'm a Division I majorette. Super big thing.
We are.
Yeah, we are Marshall. Woo! Go Herd. I'm also an RA, and so but when I started wrestling, I was in the spring semester of college, so I didn't have football, and I also wasn't RA because I was in my freshman year of college. But as I'm training and stuff, it's a lot of scheduling. It takes a lot of discipline to keep good grades, to sort out shows, training. Also, staying healthy is such a big thing that I really am focusing on now more than ever. Staying healthy, making sure I'm active, making sure I'm eating right, because anyone that's ever been to college knows that freshman 15 is real. I
Yep.
had the freshman 15.
Duh.
And it's real. It does not feel fun. It honestly, it was not the best feeling. I just felt sluggish a lot. So, of course, with wrestling, it almost pushes you to be active, pushes you to stay in shape, because I want to have good ring shape. I want to, be ready for whatever comes at me. So staying healthy, keeping good grades. If I didn't, honestly, like if I wasn't in college, like I don't even know how to be wrestling. Because, Ironton, Ohio is 30, like at max 30 minutes away from Huntington. I'm not from Huntington, but, you know, having the freedom to go do wrestling, it's great. So being in college and wrestling kind of goes hand in hand. So I just have to, it's something I really love and wanted to do my whole life, just become a professional wrestler. And I think deep down I always knew, like, I was like, if I ever really want to do it, I would have to go to college as well to, you know, be able to travel on my own and make up my own schedule and stuff, and just something as I become more adult. I'm only 19. Go into those 20s and all that stuff. It's just because yeah, so scheduling, it's not easy at all. Some nights there are all-nighters. But wrestling is honestly a great place to kind of clear my head out from college and stuff. By 9, I train from 7 to 9. So by 9 p.m., I've kind of forgotten about what's all due in the week. So it kind of sucks when reality hits at the end. I'm like, oh, I've got an exam this day. I've got an interview this day. I've got homework due. I've got class at such and such time. Got financial aid to worry about. Got all this stuff to worry about. Wrestling takes you away from that. It has to. If you're not focused, you could hurt somebody. You're not getting the most out of it. Yeah. So, college and wrestling go hand in hand. It's not easy, but I schedule around it, and it's absolutely worth it. And I knew I would always do it because in 8th grade we were given an assignment to write to our future selves, like, what your life plan is. I don't know. We were going to get it back our senior year of high school, and I wrote in it that I wanted to go to college and also trying to be a professional wrestler. And, as the years go on, you're like, oh, well, that's just something I said at 14. Like, that's not going to happen. And I didn't expect it to happen for a long, 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 long time. But yeah, I just, the owner of FTC's Art Grappling, Mr. Joe Pace, great guy, reached out to me, and I had a lot of support of getting rights there and stuff, and I had a couple other people from the school reach out to me and stuff, and the time I was not financially stable, so I was pulling money together to be able to go, and still not financially stable, but back then really was not. Like for myself, and of course I wasn't going to I didn't tell my parents I was going to train to be a professional wrestler because they would have freaked out. So the day I started, so I just told my dad, I was like, yeah, I just came back from wrestling. Yeah, he was like,
what was the reaction?
What was your dad like? What did he say?
My dad was like, so you're wrestling now? I was like, yeah. As the time grew on, he became more supportive, and he was at my first show. He passed away in August. But he was at my first show, and so, like, he supported me whenever I did, because I grew up in dance, I grew up in twirling. He took me to wrestling, and so it was cool to have that experience with him, and my mom, she supports me in it. She comes to the shows and stuff. So like my mom, them, they were all just worried about me getting hurt. But lucky I haven't. I don't know if there's wood. Yeah. Oh no, it's a dorm room. There should be wood somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, she supports me. He supported me until couldn't. And then yeah, so I'm glad to have that support, but I did not initially tell my family or basically anybody that I was going to start professional wrestling because I was scared. But not as I was telling them doing it. What?
You know what I mean, Reese? It's really hard because, like, sometimes sometimes they're really happy about it, but sometimes they get very parental, and they're like, "Oh no, you're a professional wrestler. That'll take up time for your studies, right, geek? That'll mess up like the studies and stuff like that." But we're almost at the end of your time. So do you want to start cutting it, or you want to keep going? I don't know.
I can answer whatever question you want. It's cool.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Whatever you guys, if you still want to go, that's cool.
I tend to ramble.
I'm, we were just wondering. I don't know. Just wondering. I have like one more question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Oh gosh. Hopefully with a degree. I'm just kidding.
You'll be a degree, have a degree, and you'll be wrestling.
And
how about that one? There you go.
Wrestling wise, I'd like to be up on my feet by then, obviously. Wrestling wise, of course my dream is to, go up and get signed big time. That'd be awesome and amazing. But 5 to 10 years, I hope I'm happy and healthy. I hope I'm in like some of the best shape of my life. And I just, right now with wrestling, I'm really focusing on starting to get out there and starting to travel. And that's one of the big things that I really liked about wrestling, the WWE and all that, was like they get to go everywhere. And, they're paid to go to these awesome places. Like that's their job, is to go do what they love and go to these awesome places and meet people that support them.
Definitely.
And that's cool. So, I would love to wrestle and stuff, get to travel and, hopefully one day maybe get signed. And then just hope that I'm happy at that point, healthy at that point, have a degree. And just living life, I don't want to like jinx anything ever. I'm super big about karma and all that. So I just kind of like to go with the flow, because obviously, like I said, I never thought I would be actually doing what I wrote down in a paper for a school assignment. But I am. So everything just kind of plays out. So we'll see.
Yeah, speaking of that, where's some places you would love to travel to?
Oh, just anywhere. I get excited going to a gas station I've never been to. Like,
it's Buc-ee's.
I mean, like
I heard Buc-ee's is
Have
awesome.
You ever been to the gas station Buc-ee's before?
No.
Oh my gosh, look it up online.
Look it up on YouTube. Me and Joe have never been there, but
I saw it on CBS like 2 weeks ago, and we had Ashley Bones, and we went on like an hour-long conversation about Buc-ee's. Just about a gas station race.
Yeah.
It is, here we go. Let's just say
the king of the gas stations.
King of the gas stations. You can get a pulled pork sandwich. They'll cut the rib stuff right in front of you and put it in a wrap for you.
They flavored beef jerky from all over the world.
All over the world. The bathrooms are like a hotel. Big bathrooms, door down to the floor, and you open to go in. It's not like, oh, peekaboo, there's your feet. I could see undies when you're going to the bathroom. No, it's just like you can't see jack. It looks like a hotel room.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd say the coolest gas station I got in the area is Sheetz.
Oh, we have Sheetz.
Similar to Wawa for people in Florida. Yeah. But yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I was going to Cincinnati, and they have a United Dairy Farmers gas station there. I spent like, I don't know, I took like 7 laps in that place.
Oh,
So I was
jeez.
like, wow, what is this? I was like it's literally just a gas station. But I was like, what is this? So anywhere, honestly, I'd like to go to Paris.
Ooh.
That'd be cool. Japan,
Definitely.
South America, Mexico, anywhere.
You mentioned
Literally
England.
anywhere.
You mentioned England. There's a few indie promotions that you should go.
England, I'd love to go to England. Yeah.
There's a few indie promotions that you would definitely want to put on your list of places you want to go in England. There's one promotion that we always get our wrestlers from in England. They're called Coventry Pro Wrestling. They're a very cool promotion. That we got a lot of wrestlers like me. You want to look them up when you're done. Girl
Yeah.
named Shorty. It's SHAWYTY. She's a good wrestler and she's really sweet. There's Kiara. That's another one. She's a well-known name over there in England. She was actually trained by Lance Storm.
Yeah, Lance Storm, that's awesome.
She's trained by Lance. She was trained in Canada, but she's British. She was trained in Canada. There's Alfie. There's another one. She's really good. She's more like a hardcore. For their promotion, she's like the hardcore girl.
No, that's cool.
So there's Sash. Sash is Cash. He's like here we go. He's like the $1 million man of
Coventry.
Of Coventry Pro. And like kayfabe.
Don't forget Morris. Don't forget Morris, Joe.
Yeah, Morris, Big Morris. Yes, Morris is this. You have to see. He's pretty.
He would crush you, Joe, if you even talk about him.
He's a biker. He's a biker character. He's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to go to England, UK. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I'd love to travel with professional wrestling. Yeah.
All right. And that's how can our fans find you?
That banner says Instagram and Twitter. That's literally both of them. I swear. I was so lucky to find out that was not. I mean, obviously, it's probably not going to be taken on either one. I don't know. But yeah, that's the exact thing for both Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, you can go follow me there.
Cool.
All right. So I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III. And.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Oh, LOL. Oops. I'm the show pony Reese Ramone. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys.
And we will see you guys in the next one.
Woo.